Hello everybody, welcome back to another Redstone video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm here in my Redstone testing world, actually kind of far away from the main area, but that doesn't really matter, because behind me here I have a really cool project that I've been working on recently, which is a flush 3x3 piston door that's also seamless. So if I push this button, it opens up quite fast and honestly has a pretty nice opening sequence, and as you can see there are no pistons showing. And then you can push it on the back as well, get a sneak peek there. The only thing that's kind of a seam is that on the inside there's this part here, which everything can be covered up, and you just have that line, so in case you do want this two-sided you can do that, but there isn't really a way to fix that. Sorry about that, but it does work from both sides, and yeah, I don't think it's too bad. The only thing is that I've compacted it a lot more than what it has. Like, this is pretty compact for one of these. The only problem is that this top circuit is very uncompact. I have tried with different layouts, like this layout where it goes across and then like the top three. So instead of just a triple piston extender pushing it along, it does this. And like I've attempted it here with this absolute blob of redstone, but if you want a challenge like that, you can. The most compact layout I could find is something like this, but I don't know, if you want to go at it, you can, but I've been unable to do it. So, I think now let's hop into a tutorial of how to do it. First off, we are going to be building the part that retracts the first two blocks of the door, and just to give a bit of a scale of where you're going to build this here is the floor of the hallway, here's where the actual door is going to go, then here's the flat wall that it's going to be on. And so the first blocks that we're going to be placing are 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks down below from where the actual door is going to go into the wall. So just to give you a scale of where that's going to go. And in this chest here, I have all the materials that you're going to need listed here. And then these here do not have to be iron blocks. They can be any solid block like dirt or stone bricks, whatever you have a lot of. And the target block and note block are necessary. So yeah, now it's time to get into the tutorial. So first off, you are going to start with the center of your door. I don't really know where you are going to be building it, but I'm just going to go here and to make sure these 3 blocks are where this block is lined up with the center of where you want it to be, 4 blocks down from the top. Next, you're going to grab 3 redstone dust, put it along here, and then wherever, like, so this way here that I'm facing is going to be the direction that the hallway goes into, and this here is going to be the outside of the door. So towards the outside of the door, you will be placing 6 observers just like this, 3 facing into the redstone dust, and then these facing into the observers. Next, you are going to need a repeater over here on 2 ticks of delay, 2 observers facing in like that, 2 observers here, 2 blocks, and a sticky piston up here facing inwards. This retracts one of the blocks. A sticky piston here with an observer facing like this, so the dot is downwards, the face is up. And then 2 blocks along the side here, 3 blocks like this, 3 repeaters on top. These 2 are set to 4 ticks of delay. This one do not do anything with it. And then you are going to make a 6 block platform thing like this, 3 redstone dust, 3 repeaters set to 2 ticks of delay. And I didn't have this over there in that build, but you will need the, just so I can see what's going on, but it is counted in the material list, is you are going to need 6 sticky pistons placed like this. And then along the top of here, you're going to need blocks. Next, you are going to put an observer facing into this redstone dust, an observer facing down, 2 observers like this, then 1, 2, 3, just like so, so you make this L shape kind of, a sticky piston on top of that, and then a block here with a redstone torch on top. And then over here you're going to have a repeater set to 2 ticks, a block behind it, and then an L shape like this where it's 3 blocks long, and then 1 to the side of redstone dust. and we will get to that in a little bit, where now from this observer here, you're going to place a block, a repeater set to 2 ticks, 2 observers going up, an observer coming out of this one, and here's where you're going to need the note block on the end of this observer, with another observer facing into that note block. Then you're going to have a block here on the end, and 2 sticky pistons just like this, and now it's time to build the double piston extender. So you place a block here, a repeater set to 2 ticks, facing into a block, and then here you're going to need to fill this all in with blocks, so it's like, I don't really know what shape that is, and then you have 3 repeaters like this one set to full, this one also set to full, and this one set to 2, 3 redstone dust like so, redstone torch on the end, and here is where you need the target block as well on the end here of this repeater. And that should be the first segment all done. Now it's time for the second part. For this next step is pretty easy. You will need the materials in my hotbar. I am going to be doing this like step by step, so not all the materials at once. And yeah, so first off, you're going to need where this observer is. You're going to place a repeater here, a block, another repeater, into 3 blocks like this. Make sure that all of these are set to 1 tick of delay. That is very, very important. Then 3 observers like this into a line of redstone dust, blocks like here. And yeah, that's just a way I recommend lining this stuff up. And now the best course of action is to place down blocks and like start lining things up on where the door is going to go, to make sure that you have a sense of where this is going to be. And if you want your activation to be right next to the door, like I want it to be, I would recommend placing the button either on this side or the other side. I will be showing it on the right side just to make it a little bit easier. And also the activation will be down here in case you want to have like a hidden button somewhere. You can have an observer on any of these 3 blocks on this side or this side if you want, but this side's just easier to work with. Next, we are going to be building the activation circuit. So as I showed the observer down here, and then we're going to be building this mess. And you can have the activation circuit wherever you want, as long as you have a monostable circuit like this set up for it. For some reason it doesn't work with just an observer. I don't really know why, but you do need a monostable circuit, so you can put it wherever you want, but I'm just going to have the button on this side because that's where I would like it to go. So you are going to need the materials in this chest here, as shown, and then obviously however many scaffolding blocks you need. And what you're going to do is, I would recommend placing the button here, but like I said, if you want it wherever you want, you can do that. Just wire it accordingly by yourself. So on the other side of the wall from the button, you can place a sticky piston with an observer, and then grab the note block and put it right there. Then facing into the bottom of the note block, place an observer, a block, go down 3 blocks, place an observer, remove those, grab an iron door. It could be a wooden door as well, but iron doors just look nice. I think they look nice. It's just an easy way to, an easy and fast way to transmit signals downwards. And then out of the bottom of the observer, place a block there, and then just fill this in. And then where the corner of this is, place a piston with a block on top, a repeater set to 2 ticks, a repeater set to 1 tick, and fill in with redstone dust. Now that the activation method is in, you can now fill in the door, but first, actually, there's a very important part that I missed in these steps. On top of these repeaters here set to 2 ticks, put 3 observers facing up with 3 blocks on top. That is very, very important. So now you should be able to fill in these 2 blocks here for the bottom part. This observer needs to be on this block here for it to be closed. And then when you push the button, it should open up. Perfect. And then when you push the button again, it'll close. So now it's time for the actual top bit for these top 3 blocks. Now it's time for the triple piston extender, which will use all of these materials in this chest. So I will take all of that. And now off of this note block here, where I actually have some stuff there, from this note block here, if you build your own activation circuit, you will need to try to hook this up in some different way, whatever, but I would recommend using this type of activation and then using an observer to power this note block in some way if you have your own other way, but otherwise you're kind of on your own for that, but this is the best way that I've been able to find to do it. So for those of you that are following along with this tutorial, place an observer facing into that note block, another note block here, observer, observer facing up, redstone dust on top of that, observer, 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 note block, observer, observer, block. And then on here, for some reason, there's like a weird update order thing with pistons trying to push other observers. So I have to do this weird loopy thing, so it's just facing down, facing out, facing up, and like, yeah, so powers that. And then here, you'll put in 2 sticky pistons on both sides, piston, piston, and then here you will fill in 3 sticky pistons and 3 observers facing like this. And these are the things that actually retract these blocks here. Next is the observer facing up the top here, note block, observer, and then 4 observers going along the side like that. Now for the top part that actually pushes everything down and the activation for the left side of the circuit, you will need all of these materials here. And first off, what you're going to want to do is fill in a little bit of a floor here if you don't have that already, and place in your 12 sticky pistons all facing downwards like this, so it's just like a solid sheet of sticky pistons. Next, go up to the top and place in 3 redstone dust along there, your 3 target blocks along the side there, so the redstone dust points into that. Now here, you will place down 2 observers facing into each other, redstone dust along the side here, and a block. Now you will place a block on the end of this redstone dust, another block here, a repeater set to 2 ticks, a block on the end of that observer, a block here, and another piece of redstone dust. And now over here on this side, you'll place 2 blocks, redstone dust, repeater, set to 2 ticks, I believe. Yes, 2 ticks, facing into a block, and then another block off to the side here, redstone dust, then 1, 2, 3 blocks out, all with repeaters on top of them. First one is set to 1 tick, 2 ticks, and 2 ticks, an observer facing down, and redstone dust on top. And finally, the shortest step of all is the left triple piston extender. You'll need all the materials here. And a quick note before I build this side is that I messed up with the last step. This has to be on 1 tick, so this repeater right here after the chain of 4 observers, this needs to be set to 1 tick, not 2 ticks. So make sure that it's all the way over like this. And so what you do, you come over to this observer, place a block, a note block, your observer, 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 note block, observer, observer, block, block. Now you will be able to fill in the 4 pistons on the side as well, piston, piston, and boom, you should have your door all good to go. Actually, wait, before that. So, you need to fill in all the blocks here, and also fill in the blocks of the door. So, make sure that if this observer here is in the left position, then the door is going to be closed like this, and this here has to be missing the blocks. And then you can also fill this in here if you don't want any holes to be in the build in case you want to use this double-sided. And then all you have to do is just fill in the walls here, like so. And then if I go around to the other side, push the button, it should open up, just like so. And then as you can see, it can also close. So yeah, if you just follow those instructions good, and it should be fine. And also these pistons, it's fine for them to be separated. That's how the triple piston extender works for that. And if you are running into any issues, make sure that this is in the correct place, and also make sure that you're not missing any repeaters on, or like timings or whatever. Make sure everything is correct. I think that is the only T flip-flop is this thing right here. So yeah, just make sure that that's in the correct position. Again, if it's like right next to the piston, that means it's closed. So yeah, otherwise, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit complicated and a lot longer than my normal tutorials, but I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!